All right. Let's see. 1 second. Let's see. 1 second. 1 second. So I think I'm live. Is this thing live? Maybe share a link. There we go. Will that work? Is it? Close. All right. All right. A couple things I want to try. I wanted to talk about let's see. I don't know if YouTube Paul Vanderklay. Oops. Paul Vanderklay. Just want to see something. All right. Okay. I think I want to try something. Let's see. Share screen. Not sure these tips again. Share screen. Also, okay. So there's that. All right. First of all, there is okay.
Because they're both business guys, and they're both successful business. In here, what about? I mean, Rod continues, and he's absolutely correct. every single movement through history has to account for the economics. And if you read, let's say, Acts 2 and Acts 4, economics are deeply involved in the growth of the church in Jerusalem and the growth of the early church. And have we figured out economics? No, not really. Was Rod suggested that perhaps 2025 was peak TLC? Might be, could be. Has it grown fast enough? Should it grow faster? Maybe I should get Rod Hare and Jordan Hall on stage to debate that. That would be worth seeing because they're both business guys and they're both successful business guys. I want to see that.
All right. So there's that. And anybody's welcome to come in, I think. I mean, I have the StreamYard link. I'd like you to come in if you'd like. My thinking on it is not to listen. My comment, I put a comment, and it's not to discourage anybody. Like, I'm not trying to do that. My thinking has not to do as much with TLC or whatever, this little corner of the internet. Although, and that's part of it, but it's more to do with kind of noticing a thread or the threads or the woven narrative that has happened over the last 10 years, at least 10 years. And, you know, like where we're at now is kind of maybe I should invite Neil. Let's see if Neil, I don't know what he's doing. Let's see. Give him a call. He might actually be at church. He might be working.
Hi, you reached Neil. I'm not here.
All right, so that's Neil. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so anyhow, the idea here is to do with something that we talked about early on in the year. That had to do with we were talking about kayfabe and the heel and the face, and how somebody mentioned, I think it was Matt Krotz, talked about Trump becoming the heel or the face, and like, and then I'd mentioned that I think that the big question around what will the big narratives be, like what will be the story going into post-Trump era. And it's not to do with politics. I mean, politics are part of it, but the idea of the way that the sacred has taken shape in the Western culture, the bigger picture, the bigger Western culture in this era has to do with being shaped and formed by the existence of the character of Donald Trump. And the woke came to prominence and existence because of this, which also gave rise to the Peterson phenomenon Oh, Ups is here. Wonderful. Come on in. Welcome, sir.
Hello and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm trying to lay out. Maybe it's I don't know the difference between a theory and a thesis, or as to what I think, where I think we're headed, or what I think has happened. And I don't know if this relates to what you wanted to talk about potentially.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
you are talking about TLC, right?
TLC, yes, but also because TLC is a extension of a small extension of the culture, a part of the culture, and so it's kind of like this sample size that gets to, but that's hyper focused on cultural matters and discussion, and as it relates to purpose and meaning and things like this, which also has a lot to do with story and narrative, and the sacred. So all those things kind of combining. And so one thing I've tried to mention in the past was I raised a question. What would happen if the woke ceased to exist? And one of the things that would happen is that the entity like the Daily Wire would have to cease to exist then, because they don't have because the woke at one point was it's kind of like this, or not only the Daily Wire, but like the rapper Tom McDonald, right? I did see him on like do an interview or whatever recently, but other than that, we haven't seen him since really the whole thing started to die out. I mean, it's like once the woke idea starts to kind of lose footing or stops existing, then these other entities kind of have to cease to exist as well. And so yes, this has to do with TLC, but it has more to do with, I think, what happened when the so-called the conservative movement or the neo-conservative movement got everything it wanted. Then what? And now there's like no story, there's no narrative, there's nothing to hold it together because this is hard to explain. I don't really know how to explain. I mean, this is just something I'm kind of noticing. Like, it needs to have that opposite thing. So, like, a Claire Caw or a Nathan Ormond or whatever they help TLC exist because they help to create the tension that it needs to exist. And and I don't know why that is, but it just seems like we're kind of built for that sort of thing. Yeah. So yeah.
So I agree with you about the everything. I think what you said about Daily Wire, I will add that also other platforms like even more satirical ones like Babylon Bee, they will also cease to exist if the woke goes away. And in a way, I think this it also has to do with the role of satire, because it's not only the opponent processing, as we call it. That's something like, I don't know, maybe Daily Wire, it's the role that they serve within TLC. That will be, as you said, a number of individuals like Claire Caw, maybe T-Croc and others. So there is also, like the that satirical element that I can see within TLC, that we feel the need to create it, and this is what's going on with the World Wide News. That's a good aspect, man. That it's there for a good reason, I think, and not only in terms of opposing anything, but like highlighting in a nice way, not necessarily in the trollish way. Some of the things that are going on. So, yeah. In terms of the general, I don't know, atmosphere that is going on all over the world now, and especially in the United States. Man, I was looking yesterday. It was like the President Trump. He was attending like a New Year's Eve event, okay, and he assumed this role that I think it's very natural to him because he's a businessman. He brought an artist, like a young artist, and presented here. He was having the mic, and there were a lot of I don't know, businessmen and other guests in that room. And President Trump invited an artist, and he said that she's the best artist ever. She really did. He really did what he's good at, presenting and all of that. The artist started painting a portrait of Jesus while there was some, like evangelical music on the side, on the background. And as soon as she finished, she did a great work. She started with just a cross, and then she painted the whole face in 5 minutes or something like that. It was a really nice work of art. And then the president started doing an auction. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give $100,000 Can I hear 200,000?" And it was going up, and until at the end they were able to sell it. I don't know, for something close to 3 million or something like that. So when you think about it, that the president was doing that, like assuming the role of the auctioneer, but in that very specific context, that's like I don't know. That's a very. It's not necessarily that it's strange, but it's like I don't want to say that cliche. Like we're living in strange times. It's interesting times, to say the least. So.
Well, I mean, at that point, it seems almost like who's in there? Why is nobody in there flipping tables or something? Because it's kind of like this weird thing. Yeah. This kind of like this very strange. And yeah, because it's like it's tricky. Is it wrong? Is it not wrong or whatever? It's like I don't know.
Yeah. And it was for charity and all of that, but still,
Yeah. So this idea about was 2025 peak TLC. I don't know. Maybe it's there. I think that the corner came into existence under very kind of like natural, maybe natural circumstances, and then those circumstances were environmental, I think, like cultural environments. Things like narratives had a lot to do with that. Like here, I'll just read the comment that because maybe that is the best way for me to get at it. The comment was, I don't think the peak TLC thing has to do with business. I think it has to do with the vaporized narrative structure that initially brought us together. So what I mean by vaporized narrative, like the narrative that brought us together has been vaporized. It's kind of gone now. And I think it was really dependent, even though we didn't really know that, or I think could have really admitted or identified that, but that's what was holding it together, was this like there was kind of this potential danger on the horizon, which looked like something like tyranny, or tyrannical liberalism, or something like this. And like it just definitely brought it caught our attention, but while it did that, it brought us together. And then those of us who were just kind of like pitching in to help out and make creative things found a lot of fun in it. And but now that whatever that particular narrative was is basically gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if we know how to code switch or something like this. I don't know. Maybe this was what Jordan Hall was going on about with Senius, people coming in and trying to capitalize on the potential scene that's there. But like the narratives move so fast that it can't even do that, I don't think. Like, what's going to happen to like Heavy Things Lightly show? What's going to happen to where's Peterson Academy going to be in like a year or two? It's like, it's just, I'm not sure if I'm getting this idea across very well, because it sounds like I'm being really cynical and bitchy and whiny, but I'm not. I'm just like thinking about it in terms of
yeah. By the way, in terms of the Peterson Academy, I noticed something for the past 3 weeks or so. Man, they are heavily investing in digital advertising, like heavily. And the reason I think they are doing it is because people are not. It's not that new people that are not signing up. It's because the people that signed up they do not renew, because it's supposed to be like for 4 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think they are targeting those that they believe that they will not renew for another year or so. So I don't know what's going on. Personally, I believe that Peterson will make a comeback. Probably maybe like in 1 week or something like that. Maybe with a short video or something. This is what I believe and what I am expecting. In terms of Peterson Academy, I think he will continue on that front. He will continue inviting professors and doing what he's doing. Like now he's releasing on his YouTube channel the first lecture of different courses in order to, attract more people in. That's one thing. So he will continue with that. In terms of ARC, I don't know what's going on there. The only thing that I know is that during Midwest area, I asked Jonathan Pajot if he's going to attend the next one in June in London again. And he told me yes. So
the renewal thing is interesting to me. Well, first of all, the I saw on the JBP Clips, I think it's the official JBP Clips channel, they had like an old 2026 address or an old New Year's address, or like where he was sitting in his office and he looks pretty sick and he's addressing. I didn't watch it, but yeah. But and then the term in terms of re-upping or signing up for classes again, it's interesting thinking about education being primarily driven by content, and paying for it is a and like one thing I noticed way back when I was listening to Jordan Peterson stuff, especially like the any of the classroom lectures or the biblical or the Genesis series. Like I noticed that I really enjoyed listening to it and I could retain some of the information, but some of it I couldn't. And part of that had to do with, I think, a lack of testing or quizzes or something like that.
Mhm.
But then if I had to do testing or quizzes, I don't think I would have been as engaged personally with the stuff. Like
Yeah.
so like turning classrooms into or content into classrooms versus what we encountered initially was we turned classrooms into content, not content into classrooms.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like it doesn't really work, I don't think, both ways. It's not I don't think it's as successful the other way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and I totally agree with you. When we had this little Dutch corner, the
I
previous
love that.
version, the
Yeah.
original one, okay?
Mhm.
When we had that, the way it was designed, because it was scrapping the content from the various channels, and even if someone like a channel owner went and deleted the video or made it like private, the metadata were still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we were back then, we used to use that search engine a lot in order to create the branding and all of that. I stumbled upon some instances where I was able to see the like the transcript of a deleted video
Yes.
or a private one. And one that caught my attention was an old video from Pajot, Jonathan, like from 2016, 17, something like that. And he was saying that I will never place any of my content behind a paywall. I will never do that. And of course, he did that, and that's the reason why he removed that video. So I don't know. I think eventually, even if you start something with the best of intentions, you eventually go into that thing like, hey, yeah, I need to get money out of it, so I'm gonna paywall it for a way because it's I don't know. So
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with this stuff. Like I think like I'm just trying to imagine like what the landscape is what is the narrative landscape, and it feels very much like again, I think the narrative landscape has everything to do with what holds these things together. It's I don't know, maybe something like Girardian stuff is in there too, although I'm not really well versed in the stuff, but I think like having kind of like these narrative structures make these things exist. So now, like, I don't know who is the big, like I said before, once you take the big bad wolf out of the story, somebody like a Trump, I mean, the woke can't exist either, and because it's the Trump character is such a powerful character that both sides of the narrative can only exist because of this really polarizing kind of character, right? And without that, there's no narrative, and we don't really know what that is. Maybe it's something like AI. I mean, it can't really be Elon Musk. It's not really JD Vance. I think they were trying to do something like that with Nick Fuentes, but even these kinds of things aren't like, they're not powerful. They're not as powerful. They're not powerful enough to hold the story together. And maybe some of it has to do with, and maybe I'm projecting, but maybe some of it has to do with like a lethargy, being kind of sick and tired of it. Like, and I don't know, there's like I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen. I thought like I don't know.
Yeah.
Here, I'll read the rest of this comment real quick. It says, so I think it has to do with the vaporized narrative structures that initially brought us together. The suspenders video moment, which is essentially a battle of values in the arena. That plus wokeism versus Trumpism, plus COVID, plus a passion and conviction driven by the political religious weave. So all of that's kind of like basic structure of everything that we were all kind of caught up in for like the last several years, and it's starting to kind of fall apart. I think it's not business. It was deeper than business. Now the business end of it, people are trying to catch up with that, and I don't think it's going to really work. I think it has to do. I think it's that we've got no story really to engage with, and the narrative is atomized and vaporized. If we really wanted TLC to be the great help to culture some of us claim it should be, we would all jump behind Michael Sartori and push. We would create the Tectonic School publishing firm and join under one umbrella. But we're not that. Most of TLC is perfectly invisible. So what I mean by that is most of the people are watching the TLC videos. Like if you go on your PVK videos, there's like 2,000 viewers or 2,000 views, right? But only like maybe 100 of us at most have come out of the lurk. At most. So that means like, 2,000 people are invisible, and they just really want to be basically entertained. They don't. I mean,
yeah.
And I agree, Matt. Like Matt, I agree with your, and this is why those of us who came together at the Midwestuary or Southwestuary or Northeastuary or Chicago or any of the things, or even stuck around for as long as we haven't watched it, it has to do with love. Absolutely. And we will still engage in that. We will still be friends. We will still talk on the phone. We'll send letters. We'll do whatever we can to meet up. But I don't think that we aren't enough to we're not really a movement then. And I don't think we really ever were. I thought we were always too steep slope to be a real movement. The movement was the narratives that we were engaging with.
Yeah. Okay. Let me say this. As I understand it, it's two. At least to me, I can see two different potential interpretations of what is going on. One is that where the narratives, as you said, we're getting into an oversaturation of the narratives that they brought us together. Like those topics, they go away, as you said. Okay, that's one thing. And the other thing is that it's not only that this is the age of oversaturation. It's that TLC itself, and this is the second interpretation. Maybe what is happening is that whatever happened in the history of TLC until now, we can understand it as the gestation period. So eventually something is going to come out, but we don't really know what's going to trigger that, because it's not like it's not a well-recorded process, right? And I don't even think that because initially I really wanted to see, especially back in, 3 years ago, like before Jacob even made his NGO, the Fountain of Comfort, he was talking about having like an NGO that, for TLC. And I really like that idea. And when he incorporated the Fountain of Comfort, I said to myself, why he did that? He was supposed to do it to bring everyone together, because he made it something very specific. It's his own thing to call it like that. So Nowadays, I'm not even sure if it's a good idea to incorporate, I don't know, a TLC non-profit or something like that. Maybe we just need to leave it as it is, and eventually one of the smaller channels will rise up, and it will become like not like the next Joe Rogan, but like a very well-developed channel, like with, I don't know, 200, 300,000 subscribers. And the people the OGs, as we can call them, they will be the ones that they are going to moderate what is going on, right? And yay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Can you hear me
Happy New
okay?
Year. Yes.
Okay, cool. I got to pull weeds in my front lawn.
Excellent.
That's weird. How do I not? Well, anyway, all my settings are not showing. Maybe it's because.
We can hear you though.
Yeah, no. Now the settings are showing. I think I fixed it. I just got to set up my camera in such a way that it is. That'll do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got that burping going on. Sweet.
Oh, my volume is probably too high. Yeah, that's the Josh Liska problem. Okay, hold on. I know how to fix that now. I know how to fix the burping.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Is the burping gone now?
Sure. Yeah.
Burping is gone. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't showered. My hair is.
It's fine.
Airing.
Nobody cares. Nobody's even
Yeah.
watching. We have 4 viewers, which are the ones that matter.
That's how we win. We win by having no one watching. That's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So I agree, Harris. If there was going to be anything, and I mean this genuinely, I think if there's going to be anything to actually get behind, it would have been the Tectonic School. But that would mean that then the Tectonic School would have to leave itself open for changes that it probably wouldn't really want. Because you can't have it has, I think, the best potential for doing something good outside of the internet and outside of the church, but weaving kind of those ideas. Also, Estuary does too, but I think the one thing that Estuary lacks is something like Tectonic School, where it actually has practice or things like this. And I think so yeah.
Yeah.
But Tectonic School and the Estuary, I think, aren't necessarily contingent on these. They're not necessarily, their existence isn't contingent on the narratives that we've been talking about. Not necessarily. But
yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to have something like that idea of Sartori with the Tectonic School, but under the banner of VNA for digital skills to create, to prepare people for becoming, content creators and actually making it, turning it into somewhat a viable thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
Like VNA Art School.
Yeah. So I agree. It's maybe it's both skill sets, like the actual crafts, and then maybe the whatever has to do with and digital skills. Like for example, I was always afraid of video editing. I thought it was something like way beyond me, and it was only when you came and showed us how to do it that I said to myself, no, I will do it, man. I will try, and whatever happens, and slowly you get the feeling to it, and you become better, you become better within the unique tools you have. Like some of us use free tools. We do not use professional ones, and we don't source the content. We find creative ways. So there is something also there beyond the actual video editing skill. We're learning something else, like the art of putting things together, curating content, and offering something back to the community. So, by itself, that was really good. So, I thought
that was
all things
definitely
yeah.
that particular portion of it was the creative show and tell sharing thing was like essentially communal. I mean, it was like we're doing this because it's kind of fun to make something for Grizz, and maybe he'll use it and maybe he won't, and whatever, it doesn't really matter. But also it's kind of fun. So like it was rooted in I think love probably, and like play, like a video game. Oh, we're gonna play this video game that only we play, and if somebody will pick up on how to do the thing, then that's cool too. But if not, we'll still do it because we enjoy doing it.
I think it's still. I mean, it's still going.
Yeah.
I think Chris McDonald's probably the most prolific, and he's also like the most humble because no one really knows that he's making a lot of branding now, and it's pretty awesome. So.
So it has to do with capacity building, but also community building in a way. So these small acts, and the Pat Cow used to be the best one, by far. And Chris is also good, and others like even Jonathan Dumir. He's not creating branding per se, but he's editing and how he creates that. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So okay. So now that again, I want like going back to the very beginning of the video. I wanted to point out that I'm not trying to be discouraging. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying that the thing is broken and we should just turn away. That's not it. I'm trying to name something, which is like a pattern that I saw is that we basically existed because of these other narrative structures that were very salient to they were the shared story that we all had. And now that is changing, I think, because we don't really know what's happening. That would make Neil, that's a nice little frame for a potential branding. Actually. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A touch grass branding. Perfect. Somebody clip it, make it.
Sometimes grass touch you, then you get a grass rash.
A grass rash. Okay. So, and I liked what Grizz was doing recently with the Chi-Com thing, where he was like going back out there and maybe finding, he's always kind of done that. He's always found different different kinds of channels to kind of tap into. Maybe there's something potentially there for us to latch onto, but I think, yeah. Okay. The Ghostbusters calling ups. Who are you gonna call when you don't call the Ghostbusters? You call ups.
Ups and away in my beautiful balloon. We will fly across the silver sky, just you and I. We can fly up.
Yeah, dude, do it again.
No, I can't. Spur of the moment thing. But if you're pulling weeds in your front lawn, it seems like the right time to pull weeds is when you're live streaming, pulling weeds to the world, to the entire world. Yeah. All right, guys, we got 5 more weeds to pull. Let's go. Let's do it. 5 more weeds. We got 1. This weed It's a classic weed. It's called a. Nah, I can't keep that going. My Terry Crews. Anyway, sorry. What were we talking about? Branding. Returning back to nature. Sometimes when you return back to nature, you realize, oh man, this nature is a real pain in the ass sometimes. I don't know. I think it's still going. You know, I think everything that we're doing is still very much going. It's going to change, of course. It's also healthier if the thing that binds us together is being for each other than being against the culture at large. Because with Peterson, really, I mean, the way it started is like Peterson as a culture warrior, and I would say more importantly than a culture warrior, a better way of looking at the world. However, oh, what's that? Oh, that's grass. A better way of looking at the world. But then once you have the frame of looking at the world, can a frame unite? Like in Luke Thompson speak, can you have just a set of confessions that unite you? Like, we believe in one God, the Father Almighty. It's fun to speak magic words and then be united, but I don't think that's really the thing that unites. I think the thing that actually unites is people that like each other. That's all there is. Like, if we like each other, we want to spend time with each other virtually and in person. That's it. And then anything that grows around that, awesome. Like, if we're doing things that make us like one another less, like if I'm making worldly news and people hate it, then yeah, I'm probably not a good idea. So then I stop for a while until I get other ideas for making people like me less. And then I do those ideas. And then they're liking me less, then they like everybody else more, and it brings the community together. So that's the plan. That didn't make any sense. But it's okay. Why make sense when you can make dollars? That's what my daughter always says. All right, let's get the weeds over there. Good idea.
All right, that's very good. Very good.
Thank you.
That was a nice little segment. Thank you. All right, so my question, I asked Ups privately something. Is that something you want to talk about?
Publicly, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but privately, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Okay. Any other ideas or things you guys want to talk about as it relates to this particular topic and finding shared narrative, or what does 26 look like potentially?
I think the question is, like, can we each take people from our in-person lives who are, let's say, lonely and or discouraged, and point them to the corner and potentially bring them into the corner as a mechanism for lifting their spirits, as a mechanism for boosting their morale, that they're not alone, for pointing them toward others who think similarly and value similar things. I think that's really the question of 2026, because we need to, like, I don't think it's healthy that the online is the draw, because I think most people that spend their time online, I mean, there's some of them that will sort of reform their value hierarchies and say, okay, I want to join something that's better. But I think for the most part, it's people who are suffering in our actual physical lives and are like, I don't have anyone to talk to, or I don't have, like, everything that I look at online is or not even online, just on screens, is not connective or edifying. And so where can I go?
Well, yeah, that's the thing though. Like, so I've been really wrestling with how to be an actual better man, like, because I'm really a piece of shit in a lot of ways, and I have anger issues, and I don't trust therapy. I don't trust, like, I have a problem trusting going to therapy or to a psychologist or something like that. And so yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I think my daughter's awake.
Awaken, awaken, awaken.
And like, so yeah, the
Yeah.
church helps a little bit, you know, and like and trying to adhere to practices like prayer and stuff like that. But in general, I'm really baffled. I don't know how to be better, and that's really weighing on me. It's also it's hard because I know it's like I can't imagine being my wife and being married to me. Um,
I can imagine being married to you, Chad. I can.
it's horrible. It's
Not
horrible.
that bad.
Well, no, yeah.
Chad, I want to ask you, and I think this ties back to an idea I had for the corner, but does writing helps you with that? Do you think writing helps?
It does. I think it can be cathartic. Yeah, I like writing. It's a creative outlet that I'm like I made a mention about I don't have room to be a dreamer, and then Rigel was kind of like sad that I'm not really a dreamer anymore. It's like no, it's not a bad thing. I still have creative outlets. I just don't. I more enjoy other people's dreams coming to fruition. For instance, I was just watched Gabby Rose. She's like this saxophonist, a saxophone. I don't know. She plays saxophone for Bill
And a
Murray.
flautist. And a flautist.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she's outstanding, and she just got to play for Arizona Cardinals stadium, and it was amazing. And I thought, what? She's living her dream, man. She's loving that, and I love seeing that. I don't really, like that. I enjoy that. I don't need to dream. I have my daughter and my wife, and I get to watch Wonder there and stuff. I have my creative outlets, and those are very good, and I love doing that. And I need those for sure. I really love that. Writing is a big one. And again, you don't have to be good at it to do it. It's just I like doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I started also writing, and yeah, I agree. It can be really cathartic. Going back to that idea, I had this crazy idea about 1-2 months ago. What about there is something called syndication? Usually it's something that has to do with channels like coming together, which in a way, this is what TLC is doing, like unofficially. But I had this idea of syndication in terms of publishing like a digital magazine, like every 2 months, and asking people like Paul Vanderplay, Chad, Grimm, Neil, and many others from those that they are visible within the corner to and another creative team that they can actually assemble that into a digital PDF and with images and all of that. So it's going to be something like a creative project that we can offer to the lurkers. But as you said, it's the number it's much bigger than that. So
it's a great idea. I think Stankenstein was trying to do that with the zine. I think Stephanie Christos was doing that for a while with her channel. Like I think it may even been a Substack, but maybe a TLC Substack hub would be really cool. That's what and something like that would be really cool. The problem with it is that you'll have to have people who are willing to contribute to it for voluntary purposes. They're not going to get paid unless something were to happen where like let's say if you had like a TLC Substack that was paid Substack, or you can give money to it if you like, and then let's say if whoever's the editor for that thing would be able to get monies from that. I don't know how that would work. But I like the idea.
Yeah. And also even people like people writing the stuff like they can get and I remember recently PVK said that he wants to make this transition like during the last Friday live stream and make the transition to Substack. And he prefers to write on Substack because instead of assuming like the editor of the banner, for example, because the amount of money is not gonna be great, so he prefers to do it for himself. But this reinforces my idea that maybe we can have like a common pool of small funds, and we can give them to the riders. Maybe it's gonna be something extra. It's not gonna be the whole thing that sustains someone's like a PVK, but it's gonna be something good for writing like 1-2 pieces for that TLC magazine, for example. Getting paid.
Yeah, I think again, Stephanie Cristo. I think that was the Stephanie that was doing it. I think there were two, maybe there were two different Stephanies. I can't remember. But one of them definitely was like highlighting different channel videos, and then she would write about them, and that was pretty cool. And something like that, or like a newsletter, TLC, printed would be cool. That would be pretty cool. But like the idea is TLC has always been, I think, it's always played with the technology. Technology has always been a big part of one of the aspects of the thing, and so yeah.
It would be cool to have like this digital magazine, like a PDF that you can open and you can press and listen to it, watch a video within the document or something. So,
I think you could do that with Substack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can even like link videos to the Substack in different parts of your the articles that you make.
Mhm.
And so I was using the Substack recently as just like I would wake up in the morning and I would just start writing something, and I was just doing it just to kind of get my creative juices flowing, so it, I'm not going insane. And then I would just drop it in the Substack, and it's fun because I like the show and tell part of it too. I don't have expectations out of the show and tell other than I get to show and tell. So, but I'm weird, I think there are people who want to, and I think rightfully so, who want to kind of take it to a next level, whatever that means. And that's great. I think they should. I just don't have ambition or time for it. Yeah. I think my daughter's got up. In which case I should probably get going.
Right.
Been cool. Been real. Got some weeds pulled.
Yeah, it was cool. We'll also go and catch up with some friends to celebrate the New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year to Peter Penrose Bach, Matt Cross, Risto, and everyone in the Hive Mind there. And man, we can speak privately, I don't know, on another day about that stuff. So
Sounds good.
cool.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, embody.
I guess I'll one of the closing comments I'll have is, I mean, if these are the things that you're interested in, and you're interested in playing in this space and doing this sort of thing, keep your eyes and ears open for stuff that are different that we haven't seen yet. So stuff that isn't map territory. We'd love to see new things. And I think we should probably, I think I should probably let go of certain expectations that I might have implicitly or explicitly about the space itself, and be very grateful for the year that I had with the friends that I had in the last several years that I've had doing this, and just enjoy it for what it is.
Amen.
All right, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.